Hi travelers, Tara here, and first I would like to apologize for not getting that open reading up to you yesterday as I promised. It was the last day of school, and so right after I picked my daughter up, we headed out to the beach and hung out until dusk, till the sunset. So I'm going to be taking about a 10-day sabbatical after this, which means that I won't be posting any open readings up to the channel. I will be working on the individual monthly tarots for the website and doing a bit more work there. But I need to take a break. I've got some life gardening that I need to do. So just wanted to throw that out there. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is an open reading. This is a general message, and it will not resonate with everyone. In order to gain any insight into your situation does require a personal reading. My turnaround time for personal readings, either phone or video, is 24 to 72 hours after receipt of booking form and payment. For those of you who are interested in the Akashic Records readings, I usually get back to you within 3 days as well of contacting me. However, due to the length of time it can sometimes take to do an Akashic Records reading and type up everything and get the report ready, that might be a week, okay? I think the longest one I ever did was like 2 weeks. It was looking crazy. So, etheric cord cutting sessions, the same thing. Anytime you contact me for any type of product, you're going to hear back from me within 24 to 72 hours, okay? And then from there, we'll try to set things up. I don't like to people wait, particularly for, I don't like to make people wait, particularly for readings. So in terms of a phone reading, if you're interested in one of those, you can click on the information box here in the upper right-hand corner. That'll take you directly over to the site. I do ask, if you're booking a phone reading with me, that you read the important information on booking tab. And how do you find that? You go to the site. On the left is the menu. It says readings by phone. Hover your mouse over that, and a secondary menu will pop out, and at the very top it says important information on booking. Anyway, that's that. I want to thank you guys. Many of you have been emailing me and thanking me for the open readings and telling me that the messages that have been coming forth have really helped you or sustained you in some way. And that makes me feel very, very good. So thank you so much. It inspires me to keep going, that the work that I do is helping people and making a difference for some of you. So I really appreciate that. All right, as we can see, we have a card that popped out. We have the Nine of Wands. Now, interestingly enough, this Nine of Wands represents the energy of the moon in Sagittarius. I can't read, and it's so dark in here. But we know that we have a moon, Sagittarian moon, coming up June 9th, which will be the same day as Jupiter stationing direct. Okay, and Jupiter will be stationing direct at 13 degrees Libra. If I'm not mistaken, let me take a look right quick. I don't think 13 degrees Libra. It might be a critical degree. I believe that it is. Let me see. Yes, indeed it is. And a critical degree in astrology is simply the energy where something has to change, and you have been perhaps struggling through some type of challenge, and suddenly you feel as though you've got to make a move, But because the moon energy is involved, this can be very heightened emotions or heightened anxieties or things brought up from the subconscious. So I always try to suggest to people, when moon energies are involved, to wait a couple of days until after, because the moon is one of the fastest moving bodies. It changes signs every 2.5 days. So if you can wait 2 days after that full moon, and perhaps if you can 3 days after the Jupiter stations direct, because then it will start to pick up speed, you might be able to have a little bit more stability, because really Jupiter wants to grant you your wishes and your dreams. He wants to help you. And I do feel that for a lot of you, this is where you are. You have been through a lot. You have overcome a lot. You worked through a lot of obstacles. It's been tough going. This says that you still have the energy to go on. Okay. So this is really about perseverance and digging down deep. Now, I know that you Sagittarian suns out there have really been in the stew. Do know that you only have, I mean, if you look, we're already in the middle of June, and this end of this year is going to be coming up real quick. So do know that Saturn will be leaving your sun sign December 20th, which will be, I think, by the time the new year get there, you guys should get like naked drunk, okay? You should celebrate that, because what happens is Jupiter starts to come in and bring you some relief to all of the troubles that you've been having. Saturn has been sitting at the base of my chart in the home and family sector. And I've just been feeling really stifled where I am right now. And so I've got to, like I said, do some life gardening and get a grip on that, because I'm ready to make a move. I just don't know how yet. All right. Well, look at there. Exactly what I was telling you. There's the Nine of Cups. And this is our energy of Jupiter in Pisces. Now, I have two nines here. So what this tells me is that for many of you, you really have felt alone. Two nines speak to extreme isolation. So many of you have felt perhaps that you've been doing all of the work yourself. Almost like I can't take one more thing coming in on my plate. I can't do it. But it also speaks to the perseverance and determination that it takes to achieve your wishes and your hopes and your dreams. And sometimes that does mean walking that path alone. Okay? We see that there's a choice. Now, the way this is being read for those of you, and I'm sorry, welcome new subscribers. Old subscribers, thank you for sticking with me. The cards are read past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. You'll see as I lay the cards. And so for some of you, this is something that you're already dealing with, and maybe you're moving through that. For others of you, this could be right where you are right now. And for others of you, this could be something that's going to be playing out for you. The cards speak on many different multi-dimensions at the same time. Five of Wands, Page of Wands, the Hierophant, the Judgment, the Five of Cups, and there is the Wheel of Fortune. Well, this is quite interesting. I have two fives. No, I have three fives. And two nines. A 6, a 2, and a 1. This is 20, and so in the numerology, we break it down to the number 2. And this is a 10, and the numerology of the tarot, we break it down to a 1. So what I'm here to tell some of you is that there is a change coming up for you. And it requires, I think, for you, some of you, to let something go. Whenever I see the Page of Wands is traditionally associated with news coming in, something that's exciting, may have to do with work, or it may be something that gets you fired up. Why the Wands speak to passion, desire, and ambition. But it also speaks to a new spiritual journey, and we can see that he is faced towards this Hierophant here. Underneath the deck, I have the Four of Pentacles. So at this moment, this is a moment of, let's say things are stagnant. Fours represent structure and stability. They also represent static situations. Now, it can be static for either positive, meaning you may not need this situation to move, quickly for you. It may need to stay exactly the way that it is, but it could also be negative in the sense that you need it to move and it's not. Hold on one second. I don't have my device. I hope I didn't run over it. One second. So that I can give you the interpretation of the 3 5s. Don't do it, Dixie. Oh, by the way, we named the cat Dixie May. Oh my goodness. Dixie May. We kicked around a whole bunch of names and nothing really fit. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. And there she is. Tell him hi, Dixie May. Say hi. Hi, 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 hi. Okay, get away, Greedy. I've never seen a cat eat so much. Oh my God. Okay, so we want to look at the 3 5s. And our 3 5s tell us internal and external conflicts and bad luck. Well, I could say from this 5 of Cups that is true. The 2 9s speak to, if I'm not mistaken, 2 9s speak to one of you may need to spend time alone. Yes. And maybe this is the 4 of Pentacles. Maybe this is the Hierophant. Maybe this is the 5 of Cups for some of you. Now, let me look at the other 5s and give you the other interpretation. And let's see what, just out of curiosity, well, isn't that interesting? Here's the 5 of Cups next to the Judgment card. And for those of you who don't, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 major arcana cards here, okay? And major arcana cards are our life and spiritual lessons. In other words, it is the ladder in which we either climb or descend in terms of our spiritual growth and development. And I was just looking at this. First of all, 3 5s in a reading is saying don't overexert yourself. We could look at it that way. So perhaps, like I was saying, a lot of you have really been working diligently. You've had a lot of things on your plate. And maybe some of you are trying to bring something to a conclusion here. This is the Judgment card. But what is interesting is, in looking at this, what I just saw was when the 5 of Cups appears next to Judgment, which it does, it is an indication that karmic conditions or karmic lessons have been well learned and have passed. The way now is clear for new endeavors. Bright blessings are on their way into your life. Isn't that interesting? And perhaps this is what this is. The integration of yin and yang. Self-love versus outward love. Next to the Wheel of Fortune. So here we have the Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Next to the Wheel of Fortune, the 5 of Cups indicates that career opportunities, successful negotiations, and agreements in both your business and personal affairs will all be of a positive nature. But it is imperative that you act immediately. And again, maybe this is what this is. This card, the Lovers, represents Gemini. We know that we have a lot of transits going across the sign of Gemini until the end of July. Gemini rules negotiations, sales, agreements, travel. Here we have the Hierophant, who represents the 2nd house of the zodiac, which is money, houses, apartments, possessions, business, charities, 401ks. So we do see that there is some change here and that there is a need to act immediately. Now, here's something else that's interesting. I don't know if they're telling me that it's it says with the minimum of 3 wands and the Wheel of Fortune, it indicates that there's a time of action. New career and negotiations are now possible. It is vital that you act now and leave someone or something behind. It can sometimes indicate a person turning their back on life's pleasures and indicates a lonely, lost person. Remember I just said that? It's funny how this works out sometimes. Let's look at the 2 nines. Okay. You know, everybody reads differently, and so it well, isn't this interesting? Because I've never seen this interpretation. It talks about 2 nines appearing in a spread can suggest a house move and or a change of address. It really 9 is almost 10. That's how it's interpreted, and 10 is the number of perfection. It doesn't give us and maybe for some of you this is we do have this here. This could be an indication of perhaps there may be an impending what do you call it, marriage, or an impending what do you call it, engagement. And maybe all of this is trying to get the legal issues situated and ready, and you're getting ready to leave one group of friends or one group of family behind in order to come into another one, and this will bring about some type of stability for you. There is an element of sacrifice here, and that's what Jupiter in Pisces can be about. It could indicate the energy of martyrdom. So perhaps some of you are struggling with the feeling that, well, you know, in order for me to do what I want, I'm going to have to give this up. But know that whatever you are leaving behind is not meant to go with you on the next leg of your journey. I don't see any. In one respect, there's a message coming through, because this is a choice, that there has a choice needs to be made. And it really is, I think, a choice between either a person and a situation, maybe 2 people, maybe 2 different situations. And there is a bit of sadness and a bit of loneliness, as the card says, here about the decision that has to be made. We have these 3. And for some reason, I'm picking up that there has been some issues over children, maybe 3 children. And maybe there is some hesitation. Sometimes this can be about legal issues, maybe adoption or marriage or integration of some sort. This is the Pluto card. This is the Taurus card. This can sometimes be about power and control issues. This could be some kind of counselor, but he also represents marriages and institutions. And it could be that I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to tell me. This is... Let's just go to the Sibilas, because they're trying to tell me something. And we know that there's some type of spiritual integration and a lesson has already been learned, or a lesson has, and that it is time now to cut away the past. You're being called to a new life here. It almost it's really a choice between of doing the right thing, of the social norms, and choosing between head and heart. You know, and this could be a situation where perhaps you were offered something, or there's somebody in your life that you really, really care about, but there's some part of their life that you cannot integrate into your own. It will not work that way. And so perhaps maybe this is what the cards are speaking to me about, because it's a really strange energy. And then to have these 4 major arcana cards come up together. And we can see that there's some type of karmic... This really is the Wheel of Fortune. And this tells me that perhaps, because this represents Jupiter and the wheel is turning, and we know that on June 9th, Jupiter will be stationing direct. So this really is the end of some type of karmic lesson that you have been going through, some of you. And I do feel that it involves the issues of money, family, traditions, acceptance, the social norms, institutions. It could, it involves money. There's a lot going on here. It's rather subtle. So let me take a look first at what this Judgment card is all about, because it's really these 2 cards here. Yeah, there's a conflict here. There's something coming in between the lovers here. There's a conflict. And it could be over children, about children, or maybe they've been fighting like children. Or there are lots of other people perhaps sticking their fingers in where they don't belong. A lot of noise. Because sometimes the 3/5s can indicate just a lot of obstacles and delays. People interfering with perhaps what your values. And what's interesting to me is that the Hierophant represents traditional values, okay? Whereas the Wheel of Fortune, or the sign of Jupiter, represents more so those types of philosophies and beliefs that are more encompassing. That would be things like the occult, or Buddhism, or not the traditional religions that we know here, Catholicism, the Baptist. So there could be that there's a conflict there. 2 people whose backgrounds really don't come together for whatever reason. So I don't see any travel here, even though this card said the 2 9s in one respect says that, it could be a possible house move. Now, I always see 2 5s as 2 4s as a possible house move. So that was the first time that I've ever run across that interpretation of the 2 9s. So that is quite interesting to me. Maybe this is about, I don't know. That's not what I'm getting. That's not what I'm getting. kind of thought maybe that's what it was, but then I'm being told that no, that's not kind of what it is. Maybe it is, but not really. Let's take a look at the Judgment card. Again, we have another representation of the Hierophant. So we know that this is a man of faith. We know that he can be a counselor. He also marries people. But he could also be, just like the Hierophant, someone who hides things. Now, we have this Three of Wands, so to speak, the Mercante. So this is, I think, about somebody trying to make a determination about the direction in which they want to go. They know that there is a new call, okay, but they're also well aware of the fact that whatever that is, they're going to have to leave something behind. Now, this could also be about some kind of legal notice here. Or the fact that someone's has said previously, because this is our past role, remember, no, I don't want to join forces, or no, I don't want to change my status, or I'm turning my back on those particular beliefs. Why? Because I'm trying to go in a new direction. I've received news or message. You can see that there's the horn there, okay? And the banner, some kind of announcement. I would say that whatever this choice is, it has very difficult and will be very difficult if the choice has not already been made. The reason why I say this is because of the steepness of the mountain in between those two people. Okay. Now, that is the Archangel Raphael, and he is supposed to be the Archangel of love. So this is could also be about that spiritual karmic lesson about the healing of a heart or the healing of a love situation. Okay. Sometimes it heals because when we leave things behind, it's painful, but it also has something to do with the changing of the nodes. And the reason why I say this, we have the 4 cardinal points, but here we have Leo and Aquarius. The true north node is in Leo, the true south node is in Aquarius. And we see that Jupiter is turning, and this really is related to, see, that makes a 10 of Wands. So it's something new coming with the moon in Sagittarius and the movement of Jupiter. But the thing about planets when they go retrograde and they station direct is they move back and forth at different degrees all the time. It's never just a straight line. So it will, when Jupiter came into Libra, I think it stationed, when it first got, before it went, it's been retrograde, and it's stationed retrograde in Libra at 13 degrees. So now that it's coming back direct, it will come back to that same point. So for some of you, this could be a reoccurrence or the bringing back of a situation, but this time it's being brought back so that you can solve it. Jupiter brings you answers and solutions to problems. Jupiter's been doing a lot of stuff lately, especially here in South Texas. It has been raining and thundering and lots of lightning clashes between he and Uranus. And I've really been taking note of that because it's like he's making his announcement that he's about to move with the thunder. That is one of the symbols of Jupiter. He is also related to the god of Thor. This is why Thursday is known as Jupiter's day or Thor's day. It's Thursday, Thor's day. So it's been quite interesting to watch. All right, we're looking at this 5 of Cups. Oh. This isn't it's funny Not funny, haha, funny. You know, this could be about somebody waiting for a divorce or separation of some kind. This could be about the moving of property. Again, this might be related to some kind of home move, as they say, or change of address. Either way, we know that this is a change, and it's a major change. It is a major change. I'm going to look at these three cards here. But what I'm looking at on the Five of Cups is this implies that there's some kind of loss and something that we cared about most dearly. We can see that whatever that thing was, it was positive. There's the donna de servizio. She's the servant. She's the helper. She's always positive. She's there to assist and aid. But here we have basically two figures that kind of look the same. Two people crying, two people sad, two people mourning. One person is, this is known as the tears or the worry or the anxiety. But then look, on the back side of that Three of Cups, Two of Cups, we have, to me, this card represents the Three of Cups. Now, what's interesting is I have these two things of three here. But the way the cards came out, it's like somebody is like, you know, I'm worried that I wasn't a help, or I'm worried that this positive thing will end in happiness. But that doesn't make any sense. Maybe somebody feels that way because they feel left behind, or they feel a loss, an acute loss. That's what I'm picking up. This is an acute loss. So perhaps it is something that has just occurred, or perhaps it is the lingering of something that will be coming back sharply into focus right around June 9th. But if that is the case, it is because you are supposed to move through this karmic lesson. So because it's almost like the card said, it's okay for you to cry and be sorry and mourn the loss. Once you get that out, there's reason to celebrate, or at least to be happy, because that is allegrezza al cuore. It is the happiness of the heart. The Sibilla deck distinguishes between personal happiness and group and friendship happiness, or life happiness. Okay, it distinguishes. There's two separate cards. I want to look at. Let me look at the Lovers and the Hierophant together. I never pull cards anymore on the Wheel of Fortune. Why? Because it is the Wheel of Fortune. Every low is a high waiting to happen. Every high is a low waiting to happen. Even though the advice for some of you is saying, you know, go ahead and make that move. I'm not here to tell you. My role as a reader is not to tell you what to do. You really need to decide what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it and move through it. You can always seek the advice of counsel should you need. And counsel is just not necessarily like a lawyer. It could be anybody who might have ever been in the situation that you've been in. Well, here we have the letterato. This is the discovery of the woman, the rival, who brings in, who steals something. Who steals something. Now, I don't know if this person has stolen a lover, stolen money, perpetrated a fraud. What do I know? I just read the cards. Let's take a look at what this Five of Wands is. It's a choice, I think. Someone may be discovering that they have made the incorrect choice. You know? Things work out really, really funny. Like maybe they thought this is what they wanted here, but now it has descended into some kind of madness for some reason. That's a negative change, and that is the future card. You see? So there's some kind of change going on, perhaps due to some discovery. I don't want to say it's a deception, but it very well could be, because sometimes the Lovers is an indication of a third party in a situation. Maybe the news has just come in and now we are waiting and somebody's like, okay, well, look, that really doesn't work for me. Or maybe they're coming into touch with what, in contact to within themselves, this karmic lesson of what it is that's really important to them, because sometimes that's what that card can be about. The Hierophant. It is about standing true to your own values. And recognizing that, yeah, you want to give people what they want, but you're going to have to get what you want out of it too. It is about being firm and being self-empowered, loving yourself, standing up for yourself, even when other people don't agree with you. And sometimes that means that, you know, people jump ship. You end up seeing their true character. You understand now what the value is, what the worth is, and what the value is. Well, this is strange. We see that there's the man tied to his past. And maybe there's somebody that's really been struggling trying to get over something. Okay? Here we have Speranza, the hope. But this card can also speak to fear. That's the negative connotation of this card. And I find that to be quite compelling, because the next card is the desperate jealousy, excessive attachment to a situation. Now, I'm not exactly sure what these cards are trying to tell me. I would assume that no matter what, that something will break loose, something will occur, something will come about, some sign or message or something will happen that is going to change the situation for you. For some of you, maybe the don't hesitate card, the interpretation may be saying to you, go ahead and make your move now. You can kind of get a jump perhaps on that. For others of you, really, it might be saying that it's best for you to wait to play out and see how things play out. But no matter what this is and how it plays out for anybody, this is a general reading. I think it is a very, very tough decision. And I think basically what it's boiling down to, if I had to condense it down into an overall message, is that you can either embrace this karmic lesson to move through, or you can simply wait until the change comes about and then figure out what it is you need to do. You know, we each have to do what works best for us. And what may work best for me may not work best for you. Probably 9 times out of 10, it would not. I think, again, this is, I think this is a very tough spot to be in. Very difficult. I do believe so. All right. So go ahead and formulate a question in your mind. In case this was not answered, and we will pull an angel answer card. And perhaps this will grant you some solace or some food for thought, the answer that you need, point you in the direction of what you should do or perhaps should not do. Life is so funny. one card, and then we will round it out with a Heart Oracle Tarot. That deck is just, it's just all of a sudden caught my attention. It's trying to tell me something, so we shall see with that. Peaceful resolution. The reason I'm laughing is I did a reading for someone yesterday, and this was the card that they got. And the answer that goes with it was quite interesting. So I will be reading that. Let's pull you know, because the truth of the matter is that judgment card could be a legal issue. Some kind of notice that somebody's been waiting on that's going to allow them to leave the past behind. I mean, you know, I'm reading for so many people that it's impossible for me to tune in on your individual personal situation. For somebody out there, they may know exactly. They may be like, damn, that's my story, you know. And for somebody who's like, I don't know what she's talking about. So it just depends. And what I try to do is bring in information that whether the situation relates to you or not, that there's something in it that may that you can use. If not where you are right now, then perhaps moving forward. Or it may jog your memory about something that occurred to you in the past and give you a new perspective on it, where you stand now. What I am discovering is that we live on a continuous timeline. But as humans, being on this third dimension, this physical plane, we only have 3 points, 3 frames of reference. It is the past, the present, and the future. But I'm discovering through my work that we actually live in all 3 points in time across a continuum, a time-space continuum. We are, in effect, what is it I'm looking for? Inhabiting those 3 points in time simultaneously all the time. We don't recognize that because we can only look at it in a linear fashion. We know where we came from, we know where we are, and we know where we're going. And what we don't realize is that because spiritually we are inhabiting all 3 time points in time simultaneously, things are all mixed together. That's probably very confusing, but I hope you guys understood what I meant. We have the 6 of Coins, giving and receiving. Okay, so let's go to the Angel Answer card, and we want to do the Peaceful Resolution, 61. Here we are. The challenges you're inquiring about are going to come to an end. Conflict will cease and soon be replaced with harmony. There will be a sense of peace shared by all, even if some only agree to disagree. Disagreements will be resolved in your favor. This includes struggles with employers, legal battles, arbitration, and even strife among family or friends. Be forgiving and understanding with those who may have been in error. Allow peace to come with grace and dignity for everyone. So let's see what the 6 of Coins is trying to tell us here. The 6 of Pentacles. The card is called Giving and Receiving. The key words are balance, reward, share, and ask. When this card appears, relationships take on a loving, balanced energy. You've worked hard to understand yourself and others, and now it's paying off. You're being rewarded with joy and fulfillment. Is there someone in your life who could benefit from what you've learned around matters of the heart? Take some time to share your insights. Be careful though. Don't try to solve people's problems. Just be a mentor. Also, look for other ways that you can be of assistance to those around you, but be sure to give only what you can and no more. In the spirit of balance, be open to receiving support and inspiration from other people. The universe is waiting to help you. You're blessed at this time and will receive additional favors if you ask for what you still need. Trust that you will receive it. That is your open reading. Do know that because I'm taking a sabbatical, that's just for putting up videos on YouTube. I will be available to do personal readings should you have the need, feel the need. You can again click on the I in the box, or you can go to the About box section of the channel, and that will take you. You can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on Tumblr, on Twitter, and you can also find me on Facebook. Until next time, thank you for allowing me to read with you, and I'll see you guys soon. Namaste.